Anyways, yeah, we're gonna start with how the shade room was evil. The shade room was evil, and that sounds dramatic, but that's just what I wrote down so I can remember what I was wanting to talk about. But we get into a conversation about how the shade room, like I said, is evil and how it's negatively affecting the Black community. And I say that because, first of all, a lot of these media outlet pages, including the shade room, aren't even run by like Black Americans. They're run by a lot of other ethnic groups. I think the shade room specifically is a Nigerian American, or I don't even know. Well, I'm pretty sure she's American, but I know she's Nigerian, like ethnically. And I don't know. I kind of like, that's just my first issue, because it's like, why is it that people who aren't really, really, really fundamental, that's not fundamentally, like foundationally into our culture, reporting on us? Like, I don't like how people just like take over our stuff. Like, because I would never move to a country and create a Nigerian shade room. Like, I would never move to Nigeria and create a Nigerian shade room, even if I was like first gen like Nigerian. If I moved over there and like if my parents moved there and I was born in Nigeria, I still would not feel comfortable making a page reporting on things like primarily for a culture that's not really yours, because it's Black History Month, so the shade was posting a lot of like Black pride things, and one of the posts the other day was like Black dances, it showed like the Dougie, Crank That Soda Boy, like it was a whole bunch of dances, right? But like you don't see any like African dances on there. Like everything is African American, like Black American dances. So it's like, why are you even reporting on this? Like, if that's not even your culture, like that's not like you go home, like that's the whole conversation about like like you go home and like you're not even talking that with your parents, right? Like that's not your culture, and that's okay. Like your culture is beautiful. Like just because it's not as popular doesn't mean it's not beautiful. I mean, they know their culture is beautiful, of course, but it's just like, why is it like, I don't like the whole profiting and gaining from someone else's culture. Like that's like, just cause like, 'cause I feel Black people feel like, 'cause we're all Black, that it's okay to kind of like, I wouldn't even say appropriate, because that's kind of like the wrong word, but it kind of is like just because we're all the same color doesn't mean we should jack each other's culture, right? Like we should still respect our differences and share them, And if you live in this country, of course, that's still like a part of you too, like because that's a part of your experience and what you grow up around in school and stuff. But culturally, you're still different, especially if you're first gen. If you ever been here like a couple generations, in your home, you're still raised on your culture from your country, from your ethnicity. You used to eat your foods. Like you guys are probably not eating soul food in your house. Like we was eating that. Like you see their Thanksgivings, they don't be eating what we eat. Like they eat their food from their culture. Like they not eating baked mac and cheese. Well, like our version of it, so like Southern USA baked mac and cheese and candied yams and like a collard greens. Like they're eating their ethnic food. So it's like that's how you were raised. Like in your house, you're not talking Av. Like you're not talking Av. If your parents are not from here, I'm sure like it's not really part of their natural speak. So to make a whole page, that's my first issue. Like, and they, there was a Twitter space I was in a while ago where they said like a media outtake or whatever. A lot of these other pages like aren't even run. And then you have like DJ Academics, who I'm sure, I think is like, I don't want to misspeak, but he's ethnically something else. I don't think he's like a descendant of slaves in America, like on both sides ethnically. So I don't know. That's my first issue. Like everybody always wants to profit off of us, and it's like, why are we not even running our own page? Like, why is somebody who's not an African American like here for generations? Family members were slaves in this country. Family members marched in the civil rights movement, like built this country. Why aren't we in charge of a page that's about us? And the shade room was like so big now that the lady who made it is probably not even behind some of these posts, right? Like I'm sure she's not making every single post because they be active. I think they hired a whole team, so it's whatever, I guess, for that. But it's like I feel like there's now becoming more positive representation on there because maybe people complain. Sometimes they do post stuff like, Valentine's Day, like how everybody, all the couples, the Black love, and they do have a lot of Black uplifting stuff. But that's not what the page was made for. That's called the Shade Room for a reason. It was meant for a shady post, for drama, for tea. And I feel like we're the only group that does that. You would agree, right? Like Black people seem like we're the only people that has that. Like I don't see no other like shade room. I mean, and that stuff is coming. Me and you talked about this the other day. You know, like they have TikTok room. So you know, the white people, they love their drama too, right? But all that stuff was a copycat of us. Clearly, it's called the TikTok room, and that came straight from the shade room. Like that was obviously like from us. So it's just, I don't know. Like I feel like that's why I say it's evil, because there's a lot of like negative stereotypes that are pushed on that page. Do you agree?
I honestly wouldn't know, to be honest with you.
Because you don't consume it. I don't consume it either. Like that's the thing. I don't follow the page, but I do find myself sometimes going there to, you know, just see what's going on. And like, it's so unhealthy. I'm like, I gotta stop doing that, because it's what's the point of not following it if I'm gonna go to the page, you know, and be nosy. Like it defeats the purpose. But every time I do go in there, like it's just negative. The comment section is disgusting. Like every time, even if it's something positive, there's always some hating, ugly, roach looking girl or man in there mad, like in the comments, you know?
She's not saying roach in a racist way.
I was about to say, I'm not saying roach in a racist way. Like by roach, I just mean ugly. Like roach has nothing to do with race, because I know they tried to do that with Nicki. I think Nicki called somebody a roach, or Cardi or somebody, and they tried to say she was colorist or racist. No, roaches are just ugly. So if I call you roach, anybody could be a roach. I call dogs roaches. Like I call anything that's ugly to me roaches. And not my dogs. My dog's cute, but ugly dogs, they're roaches. So that's, if you're ugly, you're a roach. So yeah, it's always like, and then you see the people's pages, right? There was somebody saying something negative about a relationship. You go to their page, it's all reposts and all these dramatic quotes, and you know, all right, so you're a bitter woman who's lonely, so that's why you're in the shade room, man. Because why do you even have time to be in the shade room anyway? They be commenting like, so there's some negativity on there. So it's just, the shade room is evil to me. Like I wish we didn't have that. I wish our culture was just stop being so obsessed with tearing each other down, stop being so obsessed with drama and laughing at people at their lowest. Like you're posting stuff on purpose. Like they do it on purpose. They'll post stuff and then the comments be like, oh, I know what you're trying to do. I know why you posted this. They try to be funny, and it's like, people always dish stuff that they couldn't take though, because any of those people in the comments, or any, like these people posting, if they were famous and the roles were reversed, they wouldn't be able to take it. Like most of these people are weak, insecure, weak-minded, don't love themselves, so they get off on making fun of other people. And I bet if the roles were reversed, they would be crying and balled up somewhere, because they wouldn't be able to take it. Most people are insecure, and that's why they get a kick out of making fun of others, you know. But at the end of the day, the people you making fun of, at least they're not broke. You broke. Like that's the funny part. It's just you spending too much time in the shade room when you could be willing to make some money. So shade room's evil. I wish they would get rid of these pages. Like I wish we would just strictly have uplifting stuff, like negative stuff that's going on and drama. Like leave that stuff for, like, even though it's all stupid, but people gotta make their money. Leave that to Wendy Williams and like the shows like that. Like, but to infiltrate it everywhere, like you turn on the TV, it's like drama, okay, whatever. But at least you could turn the TV off. But I shouldn't have to open my phone and it's like it's everywhere. Like let's like just uplift each other for once, you know. Leave the drama to TV. If you want to tune into some drama, turn on any of your little reality shows, or like I said, Wendy Williams show, any type of those gossip shows. Yeah, and it shouldn't be everywhere. Like I shouldn't have to open Twitter and it's like, oh, shade. Open Instagram, shade. Open TikTok, tea. Oh, there's tea today. Like it's just like, why do people care? It's like so annoying. So yeah, evil might be dramatic, but it is evil because it's perpetuates our stereotypes. You have white people on those pages sometimes in the comments, like they watching. Best believe other races, especially white people, are watching. They're seeing how we act. They're seeing how we talk to each other and how we treat each other. So it's evil, and it does no good for us as a race. So yeah. I mean, I know you don't really follow the page. You don't really keep up with it, but there's a reason. There's a reason you don't, right? Like, cause I'm sure you came across the page before, and obviously you know about it. But you have to have a reason you don't follow. And what is your reason? Obviously, it's probably you don't care. That's like your main reason. But
I don't care about anything.
Babe, I'm gonna keep saying this every episode.
You just asked me. I just told you because I don't care about anything.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's it.
But that's it. That's the only reason.
Oh my god, do I look greasy? It's just my skincare. My skin's succulent. So yeah. Well, you don't care first of all, but do you think it's evil?
I think that, see, because I love playing devil's advocate, because I can play both sides of any fence to perfection. I blame black people for the popularity of Shade Room.
Yeah.
The only reason, because the thing is, here's what happens. People tend to think that things that exist they exist, and the reason why we behave is because something exists, as opposed to this thing exists because of how we behave. So I know people won't necessarily follow that, but hold up.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Because you're basically saying like
People think that the Shade Room was created, and as a recourse of it being created, that it influences the behavior of black people, where I feel like it's the other way around. Now, both parties are wrong, but the Shade Room is able to exist and have popularity because of the behaviors of black people, and not just black people, but other ethnicities outside of being black Americans, like Africans and anybody that follows the Shade Room, because it's not
just black.
It's not even necessarily even a black platform anymore.
I mean, they still just post black news though.
It is, but it's like not. What I mean by that, it's not exclusive.
Our culture is like pop culture.
Basically. It's exclusive. People think that because there's a Shade Room that it's only, like you said, it's only black people consuming that. Like that's going everywhere.
Yeah. Like
it's almost like people that get outraged that certain dances and songs and slang and gang signs and stuff like that get taken on TikTok, but you're putting.
That's why when the Greeks got mad that the Q song was on there. The one that's like.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
You're putting
the reason that song made it to TikTok, I found the original. It was a Q that posted him doing it. Like you put it on a platform where that's known for sounds, and you're shocked that happened. I was like, ugh, but weird.
You're posting on a public platform, and when it gets taken, when other races or ethnicities or whatever way you want to divide your people, when they consume that, then people are surprised. But yeah, I don't know so much if.
Ooh, wait, sorry, say something right.
Yeah, I don't know if the Shade Room, because the Shade Room ceases to exist if we don't consume that. Mm-hmm. So it's like, who do you put the blame on? Because it's one of those things almost like where people are like, oh, the government does certain things to distract us from other things. And it's like,
but you're distracted. Like
you're the one
you chose to be distracted.
Whether or not they do or not, they can't. There's no mind control involved here. Whether they know that, oh, if we put like they say there's a gun store, liquor store, fast food restaurant, and I don't mean to be insensitive because I'm saying this off the top of my head without stating my understanding of black struggles, plight, financial issues. Like I understand the full context of that, but saying this just off the top of my head, they put gun stores, liquor stores, fast food restaurants, check cashing places. They put all of those in the hood.
Yeah, for a reason. And
aside from like the fast food part, because that's obviously a financial thing, I'm sensitive to that. I know people have grown up with different means.
Like you mean as far as like they can't really afford.
Yeah.
Even though fast food is becoming expensive.
Yeah. But like you take the liquor store, for example, or the gun store. Even though they put those things there, you still don't have to go and consume that stuff. Yeah. It's kind of like one of those things. Like the Shade Room exists, but you don't have to go to it. Like the only reason they're there is because they know that you're going.
Because that's always the thing. They'll be like, "Oh, there's no Whole Foods in the hood." It's like, but that's probably one nearby. Just go to it. And I know like that sounds insensitive. That's
why I don't want to bring up the food thing.
Yeah. Because they might not have transportation to get there. So I get that, and I do agree that Whole Foods should be everywhere. But it's like you said, it's like. You don't have to consume it.
But also to preface that too, because you have to explain your stance like 360 degrees all around, because people are going to take anything that you say and flip it into something else. Yes, I know that alcoholism is a recourse of people having financial issues. I understand that. I know that. But still, even with that in mind, the concept is still the same. You don't have to be distracted by TV. You don't have to be distracted by reality shows and Instagram and all these other things.
You still have a choice at the end of the day. Like if you're intelligent enough to realize that it's a plot and still fall for it, who else do you have to blame but yourself? Like clearly you're smart enough to sit there and be like, oh, they do this on purpose, but you still do it. You know, like you can't be mad at anybody but yourself. Like a plot or a ploy is not going to work unless you let it.
I don't think people think that the Shade Room. I don't think most of the 99% of people, I would say, that consume that sort of stuff think that think that's the reason why it exists. Like, they're not looking at it for a deeper meaning other than they're just reporting on what's going on. They're not looking at it in the way that we're looking at it, where it's like,
well, yeah, I still think like from the jump it was created just to report on drama, which, okay, get your bag, you know, like I'm all for people getting their bag, but like I said, I still have an issue with it not being an African American, like making that page. And I don't even like using the term African American, a Black American.
It's almost I have the same feeling about paparazzi. Like, I'm not all for people getting their money. If I have ever said that, or if anybody's ever heard me say that in a vlog or I don't know, podcast episode or anything like that, I'm cool with that, but in the sense that I don't care what people do because I'm worried about my own life. I don't really, because they say in these four walls, obviously there's mad walls in here.
Yeah, because we got an interesting shape in here.
In these four walls is the only thing that I'm ever concerned with.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it still is four walls, so like technically.
So, I don't really care about people's occupation because, again, like, I try to concern myself with myself.
As long as it's not affecting you.
Yeah. So what somebody is doing outside of this right now, I wouldn't know. I'm sure there's people working at Stop and Shop right now or driving Uber Eats and all that other stuff that doesn't concern me. I don't care. But like, it's like the same thing I feel about paparazzi. Like, you're making money off of taking pictures of other people without their consent, without paying them.
You know what's funny?
No, I don't know because I didn't finish my thought.
Okay, I'll say
that. And you're making money off of people without paying them properly. That's theft, in my opinion. You're using somebody's likeness to profit off of them. If you did that anywhere else, if you put somebody's likeness in a video game without their consent, you would get sued immediately, and they would win. So why is that not applicable to, you know, to paparazzi as well?
That's why I was watching a podcast the other day that you know Deshae Frost,
yes,
the YouTuber, and then DDG's brother Dub, they started a podcast, and then so DDG was on it, and they were talking about this page. You know, the videos that always get recommended. Her name's like Kiara Shanae. Like, it's always like the drama videos that get recommended. He was saying how like he likes her, you know, like that's why like he's even in like her intro because like he shouted her out before. And, you know, it's cool, but you're still getting promo. Like, even though they're making the drama channels, like they're making money off of his face and stuff, he's still getting kind of free promo off of that. Like, her just making videos about him all the time, right? Like, he's still in a way kind of benefiting. But he even was like, sometimes it's kind of like, well, dang, like, you are kind of making money off of me, and I'm not getting a single dollar from that. Like, cause she makes a whole bunch of videos about him, and he was like, kind of like, but he was like, he doesn't really care at the end of the day as long as she's like supporting his music and stuff that he, you know, like promoting him, and she does do that. Like, that stuff pops up on my like on the community tab. So, but he even agreed with that too. Like, and that's why like how Kanye just said it. Like you like low key, I should be making money too. Like, you're literally making money and feeding your family off of me being a celebrity. And I know that sounds crazy. He's like, okay, celebrities make so much money, but it's still like the principle.
No, I like when he did the mask thing. Because the thing is, they could still make the money off of Kanye's wearing a mask and he's in these different places like they did at the Super Bowl and stuff like that. But I still do like the idea of you can't see me outside.
Yeah, so you can't tell what I'm thinking. You know, they'll easily make a story. Kanye looks distraught after signing divorce papers. It's like, nah, I got a mask on. You're not going to be able to tell how I'm feeling. Or be able to manipulate and make a storyline off of my face. Like, I cannot be a celebrity. Can imagine you just sneezing, right? Or something. Or imagine like you know sometimes your throat get itchy and you keep coughing, your eyes start tearing up. Imagine you doing that, and now they made a whole story like that happened with Julia Fox. Like, I think she was like running. She said that she got on the wrong terminal. You know, that was our experience when we went to Turks and Caicos in Miami and all that. When we was in LaGuardia and we was in the wrong terminal. We got dropped off and we like had to run to the whole other side of the airport, and that took like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Now, what she was doing, she was trying to catch a flight, and she was in the wrong terminal. She was like running through the airport. They made a whole story saying Julia Fox in tears after Kanye gives Kim flowers in the airport. And she was like, nigga, I wasn't not in tears. Like, I was chilling. I was just trying to get to my terminal. And so luckily some other paparazzi actually came to her defense. Was like, yeah, I saw her in the airport. Like, she was fine. Like, this was the clip. And she was like, hey. Like, I cannot be famous. Oh, my God. So yeah, I see what you mean. Like, you're saying like the whole get your money thing, like you don't necessarily agree with, because it's like you're kind of like in this circumstance, because like you're making money off of, you're not really, you don't even have no talent really. You're just making money off of like posting.
Like, we're watching Snowfall again. Like, we just watched all those seasons. There's a right way to do things and there's a wrong way to do things. There's a way to make money in a way that's not like
morally, right?
Yeah.
Like selling drugs.
Yeah, like selling drugs. Like, yeah, you came up, but then you ruined your whole neighborhood and all your family and friends because you were selling drugs. There is a wrong way and a right way to make money and what's ethical and what's not.
Yeah.
So I feel the same thing about pages like the Shade Room, where you're profiting off of usually the misfortunes of others, because we don't like we had, I said this last podcast we had, real life is not exciting, it's not enjoyable. So if we reported on, oh yeah, so and so was in traffic on their way to, and this is no disrespect to anybody, like I'm just using an example, like so and so was late on their way to their construction job because of traffic on I-95 or whatever it is, or somebody was late to their office job because streets 42 to 56 in New York were traffic jam. Like, that's boring. Like, there's no excitement in that. Or like, there's no excitement in, oh, this father took out their child to go play at the park. There's no excitement in that. But there's excitement in, yo, he cheated on her with her cousin. Like, that, there's excitement in that. So to me, profiting off of people's pain
is evil,
regardless, or stupidity. Like, it's just weird. Like,
why is it, like, when you really think about it, now you just said that, why is it even entertaining?
Yeah, that's what I said. It's the
like,
whole, it's the point.
You had to really ask yourself, why are you entertained by someone else's drama? Like, ask yourself that, and then you will realize because you're miserable.
It's the point in laugh culture where it's like, hey, everybody, like when they do the thing where it's like, hey, everybody come look at this.
Yeah.
It's like that. That's like our culture as like a, like personified, exemplified, personified, whatever is the right word.
Yeah, because
point in laugh is
like,
like,
I'm
hey,
really
look.
Thinking about that. And like, I'm not gonna lie, I fall for it all the time. I'll be sending people DMs, like, you know, friends and like my sisters and stuff. Like, look at this. Because some of that stuff do be funny, but now I really gotta think and ask myself, why do I find that funny? Why do I find that entertaining?
Nick Cannon has all these kids. It's like, in what? Like, in what?
Yeah, it's not affecting you at the end. I mean, I still think that's crazy. Like, that is wild. Like, he did kind of wild out. Like, but at the end of the day, it doesn't affect me. It's not affecting me. It's not my life. So.
Right. Yeah, but it's still, why are you entertained by that?
Yeah, why are you entertained?
Why are you sharing that with so and so in a DM? Like, yo, did you guys see this? Like, why? Like,
yeah,
why
we really had to ask the why. Like, that's the crazy part. And if you ask somebody why, they probably would never be able to give you an answer. Like, you'd be like, oh, because it's funny. It's like, well, why do you think it's funny?
Because it's not.
Yeah, it's like
it usually isn't. Not that funny things don't exist. I'm not like a weirdo who doesn't think that comedy isn't funny, but it's just when you look at certain things, it's like, okay,
yeah, you do have to ask yourself why you find it entertaining.
It's like, okay, so and so caught somebody cheating, and it's like, then you want to go in the comments, man, ain't it, or women ain't blah blah blah, or it's like
even everything that's going on with Kanye and Kim, like, it's not funny. There's pain on both sides. Yeah, Kanye, what he could be doing is wrong, but he's clearly hurt by the divorce and lost his friend this year or last year. Kim's kind of being harassed and kind of wants to move on. So it's like, why is that funny to any of us or entertaining?
Yeah. But, that's
like I said, if these same people who find it funny or commenting were famous, they'll be the first ones real quick, like, everybody hating on me, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, they doing exactly what you was doing when you was irrelevant. Most people wouldn't be able to handle it. That's the funny part. They wouldn't be able to handle it.
Yeah. So to conclude, we do. Actually, not to conclude, because one thing I did want to say is that, because as Black people, we gotta bring race in everything, right? Mm-hmm. One thing about it is other races will look at something like the Shade Room and, they'll be like, look at the Blacks and the things that they find entertaining, right? Like, because the whole idea of gossip and tea and all that kind of gossip and tea is not, we didn't come up with that. That's really a white person's thing in the media. The whole idea of gossip and tea and everything has been that forever. If you go look at any of the tabloids that when you're in the checkout at Stop and Shop, all that stuff is not created by us. Like, yeah,
like they still do that stuff, but especially as a kid, that's all you used to see when you go to the thing. It used to be like you. Ooh, they used to do Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston. They used to do them dirty. Like what's the other one that died? The singer with the thick eyeliner. She had like a little bump in her hair. She was like a singer.
Amy Winehouse?
Yeah. Like as a kid, I just remember they used to do them dirty, and they were clearly sick, like drug addicts, like going through stuff. And it used to be crazy. Like those tablet covers used to be crazy.
They still are.
Yeah, like, I don't really go to a store like that no more. But like, yeah, when you see them, be like, the queen is dying.
Yeah,
it's like crazy. The clickbait is sick. It actually made me realize like that really is the origin of it. That was before YouTube clickbait titles. That's before Shade Room was those tabloids.
Was that and then
white owned?
And then also, like they used to do. What was? Oh yeah, it was Extra. I was gonna say it was Entertainment TV or something, but Extra was another one.
Yeah.
If you remember that,
yeah.
yeah.
That used to always be on the TV.
Extra. They used to do that.
Ew, that just brought me back.
Yeah, that's where that stuff comes from. But why I brought that up to say that when our culture, also our society is going through things, it's looked at as, look at these animals. Yeah, basically. look at these animals and running around, and this guy's cheating on this person and this person doing that one. But
their community, they're broken homes. This is why dads aren't in the home. Like they be running with the narratives.
Yeah, but when their stuff is put on extra, it's just consumed normally, like how we normally should consume it, where people don't view it. They don't view it as race. It's like they're not viewing it as this white person is cheating on this person, whatever. It's like viewed differently. Yeah,
and that's just unfortunate because the stereotypes and like the brainwashing is so deep within society. Like you see everybody hates Black Americans, like everybody. Literally other Black people hate us. Like in other countries, like they really have us looking crazy. So then you have a shade room that perpetuates it, even though every other race is doing the same stuff.
We've been on this for like over 20 minutes, but another thing is, God, what was I about to say? I just had a good point and I forgot it. No, but even the way that society views people that are gold diggers, or just, we're definitely not doing any what do they call it? Because you offend everybody, anything that you say. What do they call, like, biased or like being anti-sex workers? Is there a word for it?
I don't know if there's a word yet.
So I'm definitely
there's definitely
a word. I'm not sex worker biased. Ism, phobia, phobic. I don't know.
Everybody wants to be a victim.
Yeah, I'm not a sex worker phobic. But people will classify, and I'm saying that because I don't want to use certain words that might be offensive. Yeah. But I'm going to say them anyway. But if you look at like somebody that would be considered a thought, when you look at somebody that's in a Black culture, is more demonized than it is as a white person. Yeah. Like you would look at a Black woman and call her a prostitute, but if a white woman would do it, then you would call them an escort or a model.
It's more of like it's like glorified. Name. Yeah, it's the same thing with how like someone brought this good point up, like how Kim, like think about the whole Kardashian family. Like Kim is not divorced, but think about not even her story, but like the whole family are all baby mamas. All of them. Kylie don't got a ring, and her and Travis were on and off. She got pregnant in a month. Remember we saw Travis on his birthday the night she probably got pregnant. Like that's when they first started dating. That was May 2017. Like we was there, April, May. That's when they first started dating. Like I didn't realize she literally broke up with Tyga like April. Like the month that we saw him and that she was there that night, she just broke up with Tyga. Was like 25 days before that, and you got pregnant a month after you met him. Still not married, second kid. You got Chloe, not married to Tristan, kid. Courtney was never married to Scott, 3 kids. Now she with Travis Barker. Kim, she was the only one I was like, okay, her and Kanye married, even though North was conceived before the marriage. Okay, cool, they got married, 4 kids, cute, but now that's that. They're all baby mamas. And everybody's like, oh, so cute, Stormy. And I'm not pulling a Nicki. They said Nicki and Stormy had beef. I don't got beef with Stormy. I don't got beef with Stormy. You know what I mean? But it's like, I
know you girls like to tussle.
Oh my God, Kylie has a new baby. It's so cute. But then if it's somebody else, it's like, oh, Black people,
Blac Chyna's baby
mama, yeah, Blac Chyna's baby mama, and she had multiple baby daddies and stuff. And that's the only way the Kardashians try to do it is that they don't got multiple baby daddies. That's the thing they try to do. But Kris do, the head honcho do. Like the Jenners are from Bruce, the Kardashians are from what's his name? I don't even know what
Rob.
That was his name's Robert Kardashian. Yep. So Kris is a whole baby mama with two baby daddies and dating Corey Gambles, who now was apparently cheating. That's why Kanye was talking crazy about him. Like, but nobody comes for them like that. But if it's let it be a black family.
Let's hit the air horn one time.
A black family full of baby mamas. Like they're glorified baby mamas. And that is so crazy to me. Like that is really so demonized when it's black people for everything that we do.
It's gonna be 100-hour pod.
Even like that Netflix series that just came out about that girl that scammed
the ginger swindler.
Yeah, no, not the swindler.
Not the ginger. God, you know why I said that because Rory and Mal podcast.
Oh, they called it. They said that.
They said Rory's the ginger swindler.
Now I'm talking about the other one that's out that we didn't watch yet. It was like the girl that scammed the New York people.
Yeah, I saw that.
They got a whole thing on her, but that girl Sophia, they was demonizing her online. That's a Sophia girl who scammed all the influencers in LA, and she was wrong too. But it's just interesting to see the different. Like you got a Netflix series, and this girl got killed online. Like,
yeah, she got support from all the different people.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's just interesting.
Well, she would.
I mean, they both wrong though.
They're
both wrong, but it's just interesting to see how one is demonized and one isn't.
Yeah. What else we got on the docket?
So we talk about.
Don't ever lead into a topic like that.
I know. I gotta get better with transitions.
So
we don't talk about like we just gotta roll. It should just be rolling. We gotta do better with the transitions. That's our own criticism. But
let's get better with the transitions. But
shut up. I'm about to burp this freaking peach cobbler tea.
Ooh,
yummy. Black owned business. Sweet Teas in Montclair. Oh, I'm giving free promo, but you know she's black. I think they're black. They're a couple. Dre and Tanza. I think they're a couple. Montclair, New Jersey. That's where we met, guys. That's our college town. But
all right, what else we got?